4 great monarchies. Daniel's second vision was given in the first year of Belshazzar king of Babylon. Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed, then he wrote the dream, and told the sum of the matters. Daniel 7-1. What did the prophet first see? Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and, behold, the 4 winds of heaven strove upon the great sea. Daniel 7-2. What was the result of this strife? And 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. Daniel 7-3. What did the beasts represent? These great beasts, which are 4 kings, which shall arise out of the earth. Daniel 7:17. Note, the word, kings here denotes kingdoms, as explained in verses 23-24, in symbolic language. What is represented by winds, whirlwind, commotion, war, strife, scattering, confusion, etc. See Jeremiah 25 hours 31 minutes -33, 49 hours 36 minutes -37. Note, the strife and commotion which produces all this destruction is called a great whirlwind. That wind denoting strife and war is then evident from a consideration of the vision itself. For, as the result of the striving of the winds, kingdoms arise and fall. These events are accomplished through political strife. Thoughts on Daniel in the Revelation, page 116. What is symbolized by the term, waters? And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. Revelation 17:15. Note, in the second chapter of Daniel, 4 universal kingdoms are introduced, namely, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Grecia, and Rome. These are represented by the head of gold, the breast and arms of silver, the belly and thighs of brass, and the legs of iron, with feet part of iron and part of clay. As 4 kingdoms are also introduced in the 7th chapter, we may safely conclude that these kingdoms, symbolized by a lion, a bear, a leopard, and a great and terrible beast with 10 horns, are identical with those of the 2nd chapter. The reason why the same ground is covered again, is well given in these words. The history of world empires is passed over again and again in order that additional characteristics may be brought out, and additional facts and features may be presented. Here earthly governments are introduced in their relationship to God's truth and people. Their true character is shown, according to the scriptures, by the symbol of wild and ravenous beasts. Thoughts on Daniel in the Revelation, page 107. What was the first beast like? The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Daniel 7-4. Note, the first of these beasts, like the golden head in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, evidently intends the Babylonian monarchy, and is described as a lion with eagle's wings. Cottage Bible. At first the lion had eagle's wings, denoting the rapidity with which Babylon extended its conquests under Nebuchadnezzar. When this vision of Daniel 7 was given, a change had taken place. Its wings had been plucked. It no longer flew like an eagle upon its prey. The boldness and spirit of the lion were gone. A man's heart, weak, timid, and faint, had taken its place. Such was emphatically the case with the Babylonian Empire under Belshazzar. By what was the second kingdom symbolized? And behold another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it between the teeth of it, and they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. Daniel 7-5. Note, the kingdom here referred to was undoubtedly the Medo-Persian, established by Cyrus. Barnes' note on Daniel 2:39. The character of the power is well represented by a bear. The Medes and Persians were cruel and rapacious, robbers, and spoilers of the people. As in the great image of chapter 2, so in this series of symbols, a marked deterioration will be noticed as we descend from one kingdom to another. The breast and arms of silver were inferior to the head of gold. The bear was inferior to the lion. Medo-Persia fell short of Babylon in wealth and magnificence, and the brilliancy of its career. The 3 ribs perhaps signify the 3 provinces of Babylon, Lydia, and Egypt, which were especially ground down and oppressed by Medo-Persia. Thoughts on Daniel in the Revelation, pages 107, 108. By what was the 3rd universal empire symbolized? After this I beheld, and lo another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Daniel 7-6. Note, this bear having disappeared, the prophet saw an extraordinary leopard rise up in its stead. This was the emblem of the Grecian, or Macedonian, empire, which for the time was the most renowned in the world. Scott, on Daniel 7-6. 2 wings, the number the lion had, were not sufficient, the leopard must have 4. This must denote unparalleled swiftness of movement, which we find to be historically true of the Grecian kingdom. The conquests of Grecia under Alexander have no parallel in ancient time for suddenness and rapidity. Thoughts on Daniel the Revelation, page 108. Alexander, in less than 8 years, marched his army upwards of 1,700 leagues, or more than 5,100 miles, without including his return to Babylon. Rollin's Ancient History, b. 15. Seconds. 2. The beast had also 4 heads. The Grecian Empire maintained its unity but little longer than the lifetime of Alexander. After his brilliant career ended in a drunken debauch, 1323 BC, the empire was divided among his 4 leading generals. Cassander had Macedonia and Greece in the west, Lysimachus had Thrace and the parts of Asia on the Hellespont and Bosphorus in the north, Ptolemy received Egypt, Lydia, Arabia, Palestine, and Coel Syria in the south, and Seleucus had Syria and all the rest of Alexander's dominions in the east. These divisions were denoted by the 4 heads of the leopard. Thoughts on Daniel in the Revelation, page 109. See also Cottage Bible notes on this prophecy. How is the 4th kingdom represented? After this I saw in the night visions, and behold a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Daniel 7-7. Note, a 4th beast, the Roman Empire, which destroyed the Grecian Empire, and became mistress of the world. Bagster, in Cottage Bible, the 4th kingdom, symbolized by the 4th beast, is accurately represented by the Roman power. Barnes, on Daniel 7. Page 321. This 4th beast evidently accords with the legs and feet of iron, which were seen by Nebuchadnezzar in his visionary image, and which were at length divided into 10 toes. This was doubtless an emblem of the Roman state. Scott, on Daniel 7-7. Daniel asked no questions concerning the first 3 beasts of this series, evidently, because he understood their application from the knowledge gained when the interpretation of Nebuchadnezzar's dream was made known to him. Smith says, but he was astonished at this 4th beast because of its unnatural and dreadful characteristics, for the further we come down the stream of time, the further it is necessary to depart from nature in forming symbols accurately to represent the degenerating governments of this earth. Thoughts on Daniel in the Revelation, page 116. This is allowed on all hands, to be the Roman Empire. It was dreadful, terrible, and exceeding strong, and became in effect, what the Roman writers delight to call it, the empire of the whole world. A. Clark on Daniel 7. What was denoted by the 10 horns? And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. Daniel 7:24. Note, the 10 horns here answer to the 10 toes in Nebuchadnezzar's image. Bagster, in Cottage Bible,